Ready, Dave?
Just a second. Go ahead.
Okay. We're going to call the special session for the Mangum City Hospital Authority on April 28th to order. If you would, Billy, please call the roll.
Zachary,
Here.
Reeves, Lively,
Here.
Kane,
Thanks.
Kane.
Here.
Okay. High school,
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. Item 3, consent agenda. We got A through F. Would consider a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. If not, some discussion.
I'd actually like to remove C and F and discuss those.
So you'd like to remove those. So you want to approve A, B, D, and E. Is that what you're saying?
It's perfect. Yes.
Okay. We have a motion to approve items A, B, D, and E. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Other discussions on the items that are not approved? Would like to discuss them any further?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready? Or do we gotta?
Now you're ready.
Okay. If we will, I'd like to first look at the C, some of the different department reports, and I just kind of need some clarification.
Cheryl, before we move on to what things you removed, we need to at least have a motion and second on the remaining items on the consent agenda, because I don't remember us calling for a vote on that.
Okay, we had a motion a second. That's my fault.
Okay.
Billy, call for the vote, please, on A, B, D, and E.
Lively,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes.
Reeves, sorry, high school,
Yes.
Okay, Cheryl, you were talking about item C, the departmental
Yes.
reports.
That just a few things I want to ask, and this is on the clinical report. If somebody can explain what the completed agreement and transferring agency LPN to core staff, what that actually means. Daniel. It's got Daniel's name at the bottom.
Mayor, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, what was your question specifically again?
Okay, under your February 2020 report, under staffing, you have listed completed agreement and transferring agency LPN to core staff. So can you kind of explain what that means?
Sure. We actually recruited some of our agency nurses that were working for an agency. We entered into a contract with them to continue working with them as an agency for a while. Then they would transfer to core staff with Mangum. So there's actually a recruitment pool there that we've been using and able to capitalize on some of those good nurses that were coming through.
Okay. Okay, the next thing I kind of want to look at is, I know that we talk about paid time off, their PTO and this, that, and the other. And I have found out that the quality committee is made up of the department heads. Is that correct? Melissa? Are you over that bunch?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, it is the directors, the CEO, it's Kay Hamilton, Dr. Shefatelli.
Oh, that's it?
Well, I mean, it's all the directors in
And
the
those
hospital.
four. Okay, well, I don't know who the directors would be, but I just noticed, you know, on the report where it talked about the policies and the forms that had been approved by them, such as the nursing policy book, the paid time off policy, and the paid time off donation request form.
Yes.
So I was just wanting to make sure as to when it says that they have passed those and they have, well, excuse me, that's the wrong word, that they have approved
Mhm.
those, I just kind of wanted to know who that was that approved them. So,
Well, actually, I do have that.
okay,
We actually approved them in the meeting before, but we didn't get to have our med staff governing board. But yeah, I have it right here.
okay.
It looks like, let me make sure I'm on the right month because we just have this one. Yes, it was on 3/12. So I can't open my computer with you guys on it as well, but this is my handwritten notes. I know Bridget was one of them. Okay. Okay, Candy made a motion to approve the nursing policies and Bridget seconded. And everybody gets the email and reads them and the whole policy book.
Okay, so basically, if anyone asks about this change in the PTO policy, we could be safe in saying that you can go back and talk to your department heads because that's who passed it.
Yes.
Okay,
And actually we kind of wait, they do know about it and they did approve them, but as soon as you guys approve it, then I send it on out to everybody and then they can start using it. So right now it's kind of course, in limbo.
okay. And then I think I just have one other thing here I wanted to clarify. Under the infection control part, and I'm sorry, I don't know who to ask this about, but where it talks about nursing staff not hand washing correctly, that's a terrible time not to be washing our hands. I mean,
That,
and
I
if
think
we
that
have-
actually is the minutes from, it would be probably the 2 months prior now. So it'd
yeah,
probably
probably,
February.
but still, I mean,
And what it-
February.
What it is they do like a check to keep people in compliance. And so
Sure.
she just, said that she's seen a few that weren't. So they counseled with them and now they are compliant. So it's actually good right before all this hit, to be able to get set and ready. But yeah, I think that was maybe February's minutes. It was definitely before the COVID. Because I think everybody washes their hands and re-washes them now.
Cheryl.
Yes.
We kind of have
Daniel.
some secret folks out on the floor that are just
Okay.
monitoring that activity to make sure they're foaming in and foaming out. And we're watching acutely every spot. And this was prior to COVID ever coming in. Just to kind of keep that on the radar and keep
Mhm.
everybody aware that we're all kind of watching as buddies to make sure we're all maintaining compliance. And that's what that is. There was a couple of isolated incidents where folks were not caught foaming in or foaming out like they were supposed to. So it's just kind of an awareness and a accountability
Okay.
thing.
Now, the last thing on here, someone's report talked about patient signed AMA paperwork and left stating they were tired of waiting and her headache was getting better. Do y'all remember that?
That's probably on my report. And Candy is probably the one, but she of course isn't in the meeting. But
Right.
yeah, I think it was just, is there two
Well,
AMA?
there's two on here. I mean,
Okay,
is
the
that
one-
just common for somebody to come in there and then get up and walk out? Oh, I don't have a headache anymore and I'm gone, or?
Sometimes that does happen. They start thinking about the weight or, because we do sometimes have, you come in and there may be two,
Sure.
you're full and you tell them, it could be a little bit of weight and they'll wait a little bit. And sometimes people do, I feel a little better. I think I'm just going to
Okay.
forget it. But we do keep all the record of that just in case, someone
Gotcha.
came back.
Okay. Well, that's all I wanted kind of to know about that. So
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you have questions about item F?
Yes, I wanted to talk to Marie about this. Miss Marie, are you on?
Yes, I'm on. Can you hear me?
Okay, babe. First of all, I want to thank you personally for God, the great job that I feel like you've been doing since all this started, and especially, calling and checking up on me. So thank you very much. But what my question is here, under your report, you've talked about the telehealth through OSU. And can you, that, I didn't see that anywhere else on the agenda. So I want you to explain that a little bit to us about this 90-day period. And if we're going to try to do this $9,000 a month, I mean, can you go and explain this a little bit more?
Well, I'll explain briefly. I did clarify this in our staff meeting because I didn't want any confusion for any of the staff, because it is not the same as our telehealth that we're offering for the COVID-19 swab testing. This is something that Jamal has really helped focus our attention on scenario planning. And because of the scenario planning, this OSU telehealth is a backup plan, so that we can continue our providers. If something were to happen to them during the COVID-19, this would be put into place where we could continue inpatient rounding. For instance, if Dr. Shipatelli could not make it in, he would be able to do the inpatient rounding from the OSU telehealth. It's an outstanding program. I don't have any more information other than we were in the pre-implementation stage. We met today. We had a pre-implementation meeting. The plan is to launch it, in May, towards the end of May. But I do not know about our options yet about the recurring charge, if we're going to continue on with that at all.
Okay. All right, that was it.
Okay. Any other discussion? Consider a motion then to approve item C and F on number 3, the consent agenda.
I'll make that.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Billy, call for the vote, please.
Zachary,
Yes.
High School,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
No items removed from the consent agenda. Item 5, discussion and possible action. Discussion and possible approval of Mangum Regional Medical Center policy and procedure nursing policy book. I'm sorry.
Jack, I would ask that if we could table that one for this time or remove it. We didn't get the necessary documentation to you guys, so you could review that. That would just be a table of contents, but you actually need to see those policies. So we'll present those for next month's meeting if we may.
Okay. Do we need to make a motion on that, Corey? Can we just table it?
Well, if you table it, you have to make a motion, but actually what we need to do is just take no action on this, and then they can add it back on whenever they're ready to proceed with this item.
Thank you. No action on item 5. Item number 6, discussion and possible approval of cohesive healthcare resources Mangum policy, paid time off, PTO policy revision.
Yes, good evening. This is Leslie Kerr. I'm the Director of HR for Cohesive. I'll give you a quick update on items 6 and 7 regarding the PTO policy revision. At this time, we are recommending the addition of PTO donation to the current policy. The only change in the policy would be the donation piece, which states we are allowing employees to donate up to 40 hours annually. Employees will also be required to maintain a minimum of 40 hours in their PTO bank in order to complete the donation. And we will also require any staff that wish to donate the completion of a PTO donation form for approval, which is item number 7 on your agenda.
Any questions?
So that,
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Alka.
that's all right. Just to clarify, the only changes in the PTO and agreement that we're talking about is adding on the donation portion. No other changes on the hours or what they can save or what have you, other than what you just mentioned was the 40 hours. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Consider a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the cohesive healthcare resources policy, the paid time off PTO policy revision. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Billy, call for the vote, please.
High school,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Lively,
yes,
Item 7, discussion and possible action, possible approval of cohesive healthcare resources Mangum policy, paid time off PTO donation request form. Any questions about the form?
I'll make a motion to
have a-
accept the form.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Zachary,
Yes.
high school,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes,
Kane,
Yes.
Item 8, discussion and possible approval of Department of Health and Social Services terms and conditions for use of relief fund proceeds.
Good evening, this is Cassie. This is related to the stimulus funds that the hospital received on April 10th. They received $779,000. And so now the board and the hospital need to attest to the terms and conditions of the uses of those funds. And so I wanted to point out a couple of specific bullet points that I think the board needs to be aware of. On page 1 of the terms and conditions that are in your packet, if you look at the third bullet point, the recipient certifies that the payment will only be used to prevent, prepare for, and respond to coronavirus and shall reimburse the recipient only for healthcare related expenses or lost revenues that are attributable to coronavirus. And the fourth bullet point says the recipient certifies that it will not use the payment to reimburse expenses or losses that have been reimbursed from other sources or that other sources are obligated to reimburse. So essentially, we have to support the use of the funds. We're not utilizing them in operations until we know that we actually have support for them. Meaning we've got to show that there is lost revenue or we've directly utilized those funds for COVID-19 related expenses. So we are keeping track of that. We're anticipating that we're going to have to do some reporting, specifically some quarterly reporting, and we're still waiting to hear as to whether or not these funds would qualify the hospital for a special audit. So anyway, we're at this time, we're just asking for your permission to allow Marie to attest to the terms and conditions of the funds.
Any questions or other discussions for Cassie? Consider a motion to approve the terms and conditions for the relief fund proceeds.
I will make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Billy, call for the vote, please.
Lively,
Yes,
Kane,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes.
high school,
Yes.
Item 9, discussion and possible action to approve a contract between the Mangum Regional Medical Center and Stericycle, Inc. for medical waste services.
Zach, this is Marie.
Hello.
Hi, I'm pleased to present to the board with possible action to approve this contract between Mangum Regional Medical Center and Stericycle. As you know, I have worked all month long on this contract negotiation. I am pleased to present the final contract for approval. We will have a cost savings of 47 to 50% per year. The new contract is going to be at $30 a box with no additional fees. The old contract was $63 a box. We will have a projected annual cost savings of over $50,000 per year.
Woohoo!
Good deal.
Yes.
That's great news.
I just will need the, like you, I had spoken to you before, the old contract was null and void, and we have a new contract with Stericycle. And as soon as I can put into place, it can't be soon enough.
All right.
Good news.
Thank you.
I
Any
make
With
a
that,
motion that
I'd
we
like to
approve
make
that.
that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Hey, any other discussion? Okay, Billy, call for the vote, please.
Michael,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes. Item 10, discussion and possible action to enter into executive session in accordance with Oklahoma Statute 25 OS 307B1 for the purpose of discussing the proposed employment contract between Randy Benish, PAC, and the Mangum Regional Medical Center, and the proposed employment contract between Byron Carpenter, MD, and the Mangum Regional Medical Center. This executive session will occur live in Zoom video conference breakout room and will not be viewable to the public. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote, please.
Kane,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes.
Okay, everybody wait to discuss it until we're for sure in that breakout session. Dave will send me a text and then we'll be in our executive session.
Okay, so for this session, I have Barry, Cheryl, Corey, Ilka, Greta, Jamal, Marie, and Zach. Is there anybody else that has to go into that session?
Cassie?
Yeah, go ahead and add Cassie. I forgot to text you her name.
Okay. And there you go. Okay, for those of you watching, the members are now in an executive session, and we will continue back once they come out. Just want to remind viewers at home that the hospital board is in executive session, and then we'll be back as soon as they're done. Just want to remind everybody that's watching that we are still in an executive session and we will return just as soon as they're done.
Got everybody back?
Still says stand.
Dave, are we ready?
Yep, everybody's back. Hang on, let me get you out of executive.
No.
Go ahead.
No action on item 11. Item 12, discussion and possible action to approve the employment contract between Randy Benish, PAC, and the Mangum Regional Medical Center. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to table both 12 and 13 to our next meeting in May.
We'll just have to do 12 at this point, and then when we
All right.
come to 13, we'll do 13.
I apologize. I'll make that motion for number 12.
Okay, we have a motion to table Randy Benish's employment contract until the May meeting. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Zachary,
Yes.
High School,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Item 13, discussion and possible action to approve the employment contract between Byron Carpenter, MD, and the Mangum Regional Medical Center.
I will make a motion to table the employment contract between Dr. Byron Carpenter and Mangum Regional Medical Center to be tabled until our meeting in May, please.
Have a motion? Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
A second by Lively. Call for the vote, please.
Lively,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes.
High School,
Yes.
All right. Want to make an announcement. I know we are through with all the items on the agenda, but I didn't receive the email. Some of you may have, some of you may not, but this will be Greta's last meeting with us. She's moving on to greener pastures. No, Greta, we appreciate, I know I do. I appreciate what you've done for this board and what for the hospital, and I wish the best of luck to you guys in your new venture.
Thank you so much. And I'm sorry, I sent the email to, I thought everybody, but not everybody got it. But thank you, Zach.
You bet. All right, item 14, a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
We have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
I'll second it. No, Greta, go ahead. Your last
Let me,
action.
please, second.
All right, call for the vote, please.
Kane,
Yes.
High School,
Yes.
Zachary,
Yes.
Lively,
Yes.
All right, thank you.
thank you.